Hey again, let me talk in this video about the loops or simple for loop. So to get started, I will create a new file and I will name it simple for loop. Okay, so what's the loop mean? Before I start talking about loops, let me get overview about what we learned so far. We said the program starts with main, then it runs the code step by step until it reach a specific point, which is the end of the main, and it's done. We said if there is a specific part of the code, like if we assume this part, we want it to run in a specific condition, we put it in if statement. And the example we see it for the grades, how we run specific part of code. Now, what if I have a specific part of code and I want that part of code, for example, this part, to run multiple times, to run, for example, 5 times. Same part of code run 5 times. Okay? In this case, I will use the loops or for. Okay, so how I do that? Let me just start with very simple example, which is named main, function main. And think about in this example, you want just a print, someone asks you to print hello world for 5 times. So to solve it in the simple example, in the simple way, you say hello world, then you just repeat hello words 5 times. That's as far as I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then you just run it. You should see hello world 5 times in the screen. Now, how I could solve this problem using a loop? So that's because this same block, same code, just get repeated. How I solve it? I use a loop. That means I keep one and I repeat it 5 times. How I repeat it 5 times? I write for. Then in the for, I will start with my variable. Then my variable will give it a name. I give it AI. Will be the range. My range will be from 1 to 5. Okay. Then open a bracket, close it. That means any code between these brackets will run from 1 to 5. If I just run it, you will see same results. Nothing different. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I want to print I to see the value for the I say I added, because this is I a variable, so I will see it hello world 1, hello world 2, hello world 3, 4, 5, or till done. See? Now let me just try to think about the application by just writing here print line. Let me name this one start app and whatever. I just want to show you start app and end app to see like how these steps run 1 times and others run multiple times. I just add breakpoint here and I will do debugging. So we'll see in seconds what's the results. So here we go, we reached this point. Now if I click next, I see in the screen start app, tried 1 time, then it went in this loop. See, for I equal 1, it will see I also equal 1 because the variable now equal 1, it will print it and we will see hello world 1. But for I equal 2 and we see I equal 2 now in the memory, it will print it. And same thing for I equal 3, 4 and 5. Then when it's done, it went to the end of that. So you see, I repeat specific part of code, which is this part, I repeated 5 times. Now let me just make the example like more professional. Let me say I want to repeat this hello words, not hello words. Let me say number is and print the number, and from I want to print from 1 to 100. Okay, and now if I run it, it will print the numbers from 1 to 100. 1, 2, 3, number is 1, number is 2, and until it reach 100. See, to start from 1 until 100. That means I told them to repeat this loop 100 times. The idea is here there is something named step equal 1. So because the step equal 1 by default, so it will go from 1, then it increase I by 1, I be 2, then 3, then 4, and more. What if I want to jump from 1 to 3? Like for example, I want just only print the odd numbers, like 1, 3, then from like I just draw it. I jump from 1 to 3, then from 3 to 5, then 5 to 7, then 7 to 9. Do you see how many steps I jumped? I jumped 2 steps between one number and another. So in this case, instead the default one, which is a step equal 1, I make it a step equal 2. That means it will jump 2 steps from, see, it will jump 1, then 3, then 5, then 7. The same loop, but just now it's just the value for the loop changed. It starts with 1, then the step will be added 2, then that means go to 3, then it add 2 to go to 5, then 7, and continue. See, in this simple example, we print the odd numbers from 1 to 99. What if I want to print the even numbers? That means I will start from 0 in this case. So I start with 0 and add 2. 0 will be 2, then 2 will be 4, and 0, 2, 4, 6 until this is the even numbers. So this is a basic example how we could do a loops, and if you see like how we could repeat the same code multiple times. Now what if I want to go down, like I want just go from 100 down to 0? So okay, now in this case my start point will be 100. I will go down to 0 and my step will be 2. That's when I go from 100 down to, see, in this case I will use down to. It's the same thing but in different way. Like I just go down, I mean just instead 100, I say 100 0. See, 100, 89, 98, 96, 94, and go on, so on. If I just want to do the odd numbers, so 99 to 1 in this case, because I could keep it for 0, I think, because it will not reach a 0. So just you have to know how the limits, like it's a very simple thing in how to deal with the loops. So the loops is just, this is 2 examples, this was 1. Let me just keep both examples. So I will say I will name this one decrements, okay, and this one I will name it an increment. So an increment will be, I will start from 0 to 100, is that right? And the step will be, and this one from 100 to 0. Just I want to show you increment and decrements, and you could just put nice these things so you would see them. It's just like make the output more clean. And yep. So now if I just see the first one will start from 0 to 100, and the second one start from 100 go to 0. See, this one start an increment, start from 0 to 100, and the second one went from 100 to 0, and the steps was 2. If you see the steps was 2, you could make it anything, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. But just remember, this is how the simple loops work. If you want, just don't make it 100, make it 5 or 10. Go ahead and make it 10, and look and try to debug it. Try to put like here something for debugger, and try to click debug and see how this line will run 1 times, how this line will run 10 times, 10 times, 1 times, and so on. I will wait in seconds and discuss. I will see how we run it for 10 times and 1 time. So if you see this line, so basically according to our solution, so this line should run for 1 time only. This block of code should run for from 0 to 10. That's mean I think 11 times. Not 11, sorry, this one, because 0 and 10 and my step is 5. That's mean I will say 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 6 times. This loop will run for 6 times because my step is 2. This one will run for 1. This one will run for 6 times, and this one will run for 1 times. So now let you just debug it and see. It will start with 0, if you see. Then the 0 go to 2, look here, and 2 go to 4, 4 to go 6, 6 to go to 8, and 8 go to the 10, and print it, and done. Now I'm 10, I'm out the range. 6 times, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I go to the next, This line run 1 times. Now the down, same thing. I go from 10 down to 0, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just look at here. 6, and that is. Now the last line will run for 1 times and you're done. So just what you have to take from this video is how the loops work, and simply the loops work by the conditions. So this is my condition, how many times I want to repeat the loops, either from an increment way or decrement way. This is the steps, how I could go from the first point to the last point. Think about it. Think about it. The loops look like a stair. So this way, and this, for example, this one will be stair number 0, 1, 2, 3. This one is stair number 5. And think about, so in this case, this one will be 0, and this one will be 5. And think about the steps, how many steps you want to jump. If you say 2, that means you will go from this one, you will not take this one, to this one. Then from this one, you go to this one. You jump 2 stairs per times. If you say it is 1, that means you'll go from this one to this one, then this one to this one, then this one to this one, then this one to this one. Just think about it, look like a stair. So how you move between one stair to another. So here we're done. Thank you for watching and see you next.